Hello everyone. Today's game was played, well, not so long ago. It is the final of Armageddon Series organized by World Chess. So Jan-Krzysztof Duda went on to win this game against Wesley, so to win the final, the entire series. So the game started with e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, the Ruy Lopez. And then after, all those very familiar moves, rook to e1, b5, bishop b3, castles. So this is the position where after c3, black has an option of playing d5, the martial attack. And usually nowadays, white does not go for the martial, so a4 is one of the options. a4, b4, d2, d4, d6, de5, and then black captures with the knight. So both captures are possible. D takes e5 is somewhat more popular, but so far so good. Knight takes, pawn takes, queen goes to f3, and then among black's options, which are bishop to c5, bishop to b7, and so on and so forth, I believe king h8 is the move. Black chose a5, which perhaps isn't the best, but seems to be quite playable. So after knight to d2, bishop b7, once again very logical moves. White goes knight f1. Funny enough, alternative would have been knight c4, which looks like a blunder because black can take, and then if you take everything, you do get checkmated on the last rank. But after bishop e4, queen g3, after, white has some threats like bishop h6, so white is pretty much guaranteed to win the pawn back. And, as per usual, this position would be fairly equal, as you can expect. So, knight to d7, still fine, even though, computer suggests other moves, but let's for now accept that this is the move. Knight to g3, once again, knight is headed towards f5, which is what you do in the Ruy Lopez. And the very next move black plays happens to be a mistake. So rook a6. Rook a6, well, looks like a cool idea, lifting the rook, controlling the 6th rank, maybe swinging the rook over, which happened in the game later on, but it happens to be not the best. Knight f5, knight to c5, bishop c4, rook g6. So black pretty much goes for his idea. So rook on the g-file, white goes c3, which is, once again, a fairly common move. Pawn takes, bishop d6. And bishop d6, perhaps, is a very, very serious mistake, because white has played h2, h4, so now h5 is the big threat. Sometimes bishop g5 will be a move, so it supports the bishop on g5. Well, black couldn't find anything better but went back to e7. There were better moves, but it's blitz after all. You somewhat panic after h4, and this is how you end up playing bishop e7. So h5, rook goes to b6, queen to g4. And this is where it turns out it's a big trouble. So g7 is threatened, queen g7 checkmate. Bishop f6 loses to, variety of things. One of them being ironic, because you do look at the king side in this position, but one of the things that wins would actually be bishop to a3, just a pin from the other side. g7, g6, bishop h6, rook to e8. And here, well, white is completely winning, like literally any sane move is winning. But still, like being short on time, Duda found a very, very lovely move. Rook a1 to b1, point being that if black captures on b1, well, if you take back, you do win still. But much nicer would be to take on g6, rook e1, king h2, black is 2 rooks up, but his king cannot be saved. And and in this position, of course, you do go queen g7 and not the bishop g7. Alright, so black played bishop a6, well, doesn't save, but nothing could save black by that point. Rook takes b6, bishop takes c4, and now the bishop, white's bishop on this diagonal, is removed, but the rook from b6 helps to attack the g6 square. So a g6, and Wesley saw resigns because, yeah, it doesn't matter what you take it with. Rook takes g6, queen takes g6, and checkmate on g7 to follow. Well, very nice attacking game, and being under pressure, being in a must-win situation, Wesley saw lost the second game of this final as well, which yielded Jan-Krzysztof Duda a title of a winner of Armageddon Series. Well, hope you enjoyed this one, and see you in the next recap.